something again.
Nice work. You sound great.
Mm, It's a matter
Don't
of
hum
opinion.
me. No. All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to here. Guess what we're doing? The same thing that just happened, and the same thing I do all the time. Interviews. Hooray. Um, I consider them getting ideas and helping myself, but if I stream it, then everyone thinks, hey, it's for the community and whatever. So, what we're doing. uh, so yeah, I'm gonna ask you, questions you obviously know. Some people might know questions about RP, the nature of the thing we're doing, um, all sorts of junk. So there's definitely a
Mhm.
question. Definitely a question on everyone's mind, and I'll go out and say it, even though we're all thinking it, and I know we're all thinking it. Shrimps, what,
Mm-hmm.
what the f happened there?
Where?
What?
You have to be more specific.
No way. Okay, so we've known each other like years and years at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, you played, well, not at the beginning, but you eventually played someone completely different than I've ever seen you play before.
What?
Yes, because here's what's up. You joined and experienced aggro piracy on a broader scale than I thought would ever be possible for you.
Why? Because I always said I couldn't play a pirate?
Well, yeah, but also everything I've seen you do in the past, is um not like that. So I thought it's different, So what happened? How'd you get there?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
when
wasn't
you
really an aggro pirate. I mean, I didn't go out looking for fights.
well, yeah, no, of course not. Oh, uh-oh.
Um, it wasn't the typical, or well, I should say, the cliche sort of piracy thing, where you're constantly threatening somebody. If they say something you don't like, you're gonna shoot them or drop all your belongings in a neat little bag at your feet. I fucking hate that. I was you never did you ever see me pirate anyone?
I
I was
mean,
very polite. I was
yeah,
very
sure.
friendly.
Sure.
People went along with it, but I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't think I was. Well, I guess I was a pirate, but I wasn't technically one.
You definitely supported piracy pretty hardcore. Um I think. But whatever. Let's dig deeper. What did you think was going to happen when you made Isobel?
Um, I don't know. I never have an idea when I RP. I don't have a. I usually don't have a. This time I did kind of have a backstory, but it was just because everybody wakes up at the free port with no hair
Oh yeah.
and their underwear and whatnot. So, um, and as it happened, you guys were the first people that I ran into. So I just kind of went with somebody had obviously knocked my character out, stolen everything she had, and left them for dead at the free port.
Mhm.
So that was the extent of it. And then I was supposed to be looking for this person, whatever, and that just kind of fell by the wayside, which is fine because other RP happened.
Yeah.
And then, like I don't even know what you were called then. It wasn't Pirate Bros. It was something else.
Uh
Offered to help. Yeah, I have no
Dangerous
clue what the name was.
Rangers?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So then we're like, okay, well, we'll help you. Come with us. And then it was all, hey, you want to join? Hey, you want to join? No pressure. Hey, you want to join? No pressure. Here, sign here. You want to join? No pressure. And I was like,
Yep,
uh,
that
which is
was my
why
bad.
which is why I disappeared.
Yeah.
Because I sort of like to, I don't know, I like to do stuff. I don't like being pushed. So I was like, okay, well, these people are really nice. They're really friendly. Uh, but I'm feeling really, I can't think of the word, not smothered, but
Mhm.
and then of course Tiny comes up and he gives me a bear, and I'm like, oh my God, no, please. Now I feel obligated. So she just kind of built a little thatch hut, built a ship, got the hell out of Dodge.
Right. Um. So I thought, because I knew who you were, I thought that it was really strange that we were the first people you met, and like I didn't know. So I was pushing joining because I was the recruitment officer and it was going to look good for me, but also
Mm-hmm.
like just to make sure, hey, if you want to do this, if you want to be here or whatever, do it. You can. And then it also felt like way too much to me, but I mean, I was kind of stuck in it, and like we know each other really well, so like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of felt like forced just because we know each other too. And so I think that was my bad, and I think I played it poorly, but whatever, because
No,
we both
no.
went through it just fine, I think. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, it would have been the same scenario with any other company.
Yeah, true. Everyone's trying to get someone
Like,
to add in.
yeah.
Hmm.
After I left and I ended up in A3, and I just built my little house and whatnot. So I was just sailing around, and chain shots, the same thing. I was just exploring, and they're like, "Oh, you should join us." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Okay, well, there's this one woman and a bunch of kids that aren't her kids," and it was just like, "Yeah, no."
Hmm.
But they were pushing for me, and I think some other companies, and
Hmm.
it's I don't know. It seems like people are just trying to pad their numbers sometimes. Like they don't want you for you. They want you as another body to throw on a ship or whatnot.
Hmm. Or someone to like talk to, like to
Which
advance whatever they're trying to advance. I think so.
I suppose, yeah.
For
So that was
example,
why, if I was, hmm?
yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, if you if you're traders or if you're pirates or if you're whatever, you need like you need more bodies so that you can do it or talk about it or advance it or whatever, instead of just this is what I am. I'm
Yeah.
not talking to anyone. So that's why I think
Mm-hmm.
people
Yeah.
try and soak other people. But you were
It's
saying
possible.
some thought. I don't know.
No, so that was it. And then I think it was a week or so later, maybe later, whatever, or two. I just happened to be sailing out. I was going to go exploring again, see if there's anybody around to talk to. And I was red flared, so I stopped. And it turned out to be danger.
Of course.
He's, yeah. Um, and it was him on his ship, and Spare was there too. So he's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. And what are you doing in here?" And I'm like, "I live here in this area. You know, why are you asking me this?" Is like, because you know I patrol the waters. These are my waters, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And then it's just like, "So aren't you living here alone?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "Yeah, dude. Well, isn't it lonely?" And I was like, "No, just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely." And he's like, "Well, why don't you just come join us?" So I said, after that, I was like, "Yeah, okay," because it wasn't a constant barrage of like it was the first time. So then him and Sphere sailed off, and they were doing maps or something, and I went back to my island and tore all my stuff down, and that was that.
Nice. I'm gonna say some words to make sure I'm okay. I turned you up so that we're equal. I think it looks like we're equal now. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't know I could turn you up even more. I got you at 2 hundo.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could turn my mic up, but it's loud.
It's whatever. I got you. So we I think well, I guess not everyone knows. How'd you get into RP and like all of that stuff and like where you been and all of that. If you want to tell us.
I started RP in Atlas on a private server. If anybody knows Jam Jar, when Atlas first came out, he made a server for anybody who was sub to him, and that was my first ever RP experience. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. So that was what? When did Atlas come out? In 2018?
You went from that to GTA? What?
No, well, wait. Oh crap, that's right. I did do
Yeah.
RP and GTA before that. I forgot about.
Yeah.
Forgot
Dang.
about GTA.
I know, like everything. Yep.
What? You stalker. No, yeah, that's right. I'm kidding. Yeah, I was RPing on a server owned by another friend. It's now called Phoenix Project. So that was GTA. Did that for a bit, and then internal drama and whatnot between server owners and everything. So just kind of stopped doing that. And then did the Atlas RP. And then I found out, I can't remember who told me about Darkside or how I found out about it. And I went there. But if it wasn't for RP, I would never play Atlas because I hate survival games.
Yeah. Everyone.
That's not true. A lot of people enjoy them. I don't.
We'll just assume it's everyone. We'll just assume.
Okay.
There can't possibly be anyone who wants to play them.
Blanket statement. Yeah. So I'm an RP noob.
Nope. Definitely been doing it for years and years. So, years.
Jam left and went to Darkside after Drama. What? Jam's never played on Darkside. He played on Family RP. Sorry, I'm reading the.
I know.
Denver said.
Well, I don't know anything about Jam, so that's something I don't know. I just know about you.
You should watch. He's good.
I don't really watch streams, so you know how to.
Yeah. No, that's true. You said that. Yeah, you don't watch streamers.
Unfortunately. So, created this character. In my opinion, and the reason I think you did something this time that you haven't done previously is that you were in everything that I was aware of. Like, literally everything. You knew all the characters that I knew. You knew all the characters I didn't know. You knew all their stories. You touched all their drama. Like, you were everywhere.
Sounds dirty.
Sure, but like in the past when we've played together, you know us and like you talk to random people that you encounter, but to say that you're everywhere isn't something I would have said in the past, but I definitely think is true for this season. So that's why I think what you did is so different. You know what I mean?
I think it had to do with the company I joined too, because every other character I've played that's been in a trade company, and it was always a smaller group of people. I think the largest company I was in before this was 5. So I jump into a pirate company with close to 20 people. Yeah, things are going to be different.
Well, Pirate Bros had 20 people nonstop, technically. Just saying.
Yeah.
To the point where they were kicking people out just to get new people. Yeah.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they did.
Were they?
100%. Yeah, they did.
Oh.
Yeah,
Of
they
course, then you have the
removed.
Arlingtons with the waiting list. Like, woohoo, we're so exclusive.
That's funny.
People just can't wait to. I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, Pirate Bros basically if you were AFK from the company for an amount of time, then you were just removed and put in the kitchen or wherever, and
Yeah. Well, that's understandable. Yeah.
someone new was brought in every time they needed someone new. So it was always 20 players active all the time, which I thought was crazy.
Mm. There were a lot of civilians for a pirate company, too.
Well, sure, but
I
technically
don't mind.
we were all pirates. I mean, until
Yeah.
the endish, because even I and Elias were doing piracy junk. Murphy was doing piracy junk.
Mm.
We just stopped because we didn't. That's not us. But I guess
I don't
one
know.
of
I think
these.
if
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
No, go
you
ahead.
go. I got a new question. It's completely different, so we got to finish this one.
No, I was just thinking. I think if it had gotten to if the if the piracy had sort of like escalated to really aggressive, um, where the person you were pirating, dis- despite whatever choice they made, they would be on the losing end. I probably would have. I would have left the company because I understand pirates are aggressive, but sometimes if you put someone in a no-win situation, to me it feels like you're forcing them to go along with your RP because that's your character, and I don't really agree with that. Like, yes, losing is good, but people can't always be the loser when it comes to piracy.
Mm-hmm. I
I don't.
so that is my next question and topic. You've seen
Okay.
really aggressive with me personally. You've seen really aggressive piracy. You've seen this sort of everybody's friends at the end piracy, and my version of piracy, which is really subtle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What are your feelings on these things?
Well, I think, like I said, like
Mm-hmm.
the hardcore aggressive stuff where it's like, well, if you win, you lose, you lose, you lose. You're not allowing the other person to RP. You're making them go along with what you want, and I don't agree with that. I don't think that's fair because everybody has their own story. You should try to combine them to make them work together, not just completely discount what they're doing. What was the second part?
Just how you felt about those three. So the second one was the like everyone's a friend at the end of the pirate encounter
Oh, I
thing.
hated that. Hated that so much. You go out
Okay.
looking for a fight. You get in a ship battle. You spend 2 hours fighting, and then when it's clear that somebody is going to sink, you hop over and you start fixing their planks and bailing the ship. I'm like, no, let those motherfuckers sink.
So what you're saying is
Which kind of contradicts my statement, but it's just
mm-hmm.
to clarify. The people who are like, okay, well, they're sinking, hop over and save them. They were friends with those pirates.
Mm-hmm.
My character was not. Like Tiny was obviously close and friendly with the chain shots. So he would say, oh yeah, they're our friends. And a lot of times Seamus would say, no, Tiny, they're your friends, not ours.
Okay.
Um,
So
I
for
kind of
examples,
what?
because we have examples, you and I personally have
Mhm.
examples. The two deaths of Boxster that at the hands of Logan, which
Mhm.
you and I have talked about them extensively and discussed them and everything, but that's one really clear form of piracy, right? Like, I'm going to kill you
Mhm.
unless you say no, 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 don't kill me, 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 because that's the rules, I guess. Because if I had said any of that junk, like per the rules, you know, you can't do it or whatever. But
Mhm.
in those instances, I didn't, obviously. And Boxster was killed both times. It was really like jarring and violent, I guess, right?
Jarring. Yeah, okay, you were hung and set on fire at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, both times. I didn't my character wasn't aware of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Till obviously long after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
She was well aware of the second time because that son of a bitch, Wayne Valentino, stood there and did not.
Right.
That character. Hate that
So
character.
those so that's the extreme, right? Aggression
Yeah.
versus what we had where everybody's friends at the end, right? It's got to definitely be somewhere in the middle
Mhm.
because both of them are too extreme, right? But like, how do you get there? Either the rules allow you to do one or the rules allow you to do other. How do we as players get to somewhere in the middle?
Um, well, if you're sailing out as a pirate to get into a fight, well, I think another thing was that everybody was red flared constantly, all the time. I don't know if that's relevant, but I don't. If you go out looking for a fight, if
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason that you have sailed out your warship or whatnot, it shouldn't matter who it is. If that is your intent, I'm going to go out, I'm going to fight, I'm going to get into a ship battle, then whether or not you know the person shouldn't factor into it. Because the whole point of doing that is to have a clear victor. I think the only time that ever happened was with the Wild Hogs. Um, like they would surrender or whatnot. But if it was chain shots, it always ended the same way. If it was trying to remember, there's so many companies. I don't know. I don't know even know if I'm making any sense.
You're making sense.
I,
Again, my point that you know everyone and you knew everything because I have no idea except for the one I was involved in. So another
yeah.
point. But
I just yeah, that like I think that's a happy middle ground. Maybe not. Because obviously it's just my opinion.
so there's my brand of piracy, which is Soggy Boys, very subtle, no weapons at all kind of junk, right? But those are
Mm-hmm.
also leech characters that I've been talking about, right? What
Mm-hmm.
if pirates couldn't gather and pirates couldn't trade? The only way to sustain pirates was to go out and rob and steal. Do you think something like that would allow them to keep the focus on doing piracy but keeping people alive?
I guess it would depend on the people because there's always someone in the group. Or I should say always. There's usually one or two people in the group who just feel the need to escalate things. Like I have if a pirate wants to go out and rob someone for their wood and whatever and all those resources because their company isn't doing it themselves, that's fine. It makes sense to me. But I've completely lost my train of thought. It's boarding at the station.
No, you're good. Um, do you
I
think a
can't
rule
get
that
from
do you think a rule that limits companies like pirates to their role exclusively would help?
no, that's not fair. I mean, and the thing is because a lot of people they'll have a large company and they don't need to go outside that company for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of their RP is internal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it would be nice for them to not have everybody specialized in something and go out and say pirate someone for something or make an agreement with well, they did happen. Sub Rosa basically it was just anybody could go there and get what they needed.
Hmm.
But I don't know about a rule restricting. That just seems kind of harsh.
Okay. Um,
And because it's only directed at pirates, people are going to get their back up because
well, I
they're
mean,
feeling.
it would be more like, I mean, this is all just me theorizing, but like
Mhm.
traders, merchants, whatever, that's all you do. You don't fight. You don't get involved in war games. None of that junk. Like you don't
That's
touch
true.
a weapon, okay? Because you're a merchant or a trader. You're limited then. The pirates don't gather. They don't trade. Like being very stereotypical, I think,
Hmm.
is one way that you could limit both sides, because if you kill everybody then you can't gain anything in the future, right? Because all your traders are dead, so you can't rob anyone. And if you
Hmm.
are friends with everyone, then you can't get what you need. So it was just a thought that I had, and I don't know.
Well, isn't there like from past seasons on Dark Side? What was there not? I don't know if it was a rule or something that traders couldn't defend themselves. They were obligated to hire mercenaries. Or am I
Yeah,
remembering that
yeah,
wrong?
they didn't fight or some junk. Unfortunately I can't look at
Yeah,
the
they
old
couldn't.
rules, so I have no idea. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was they couldn't have cannon on
on,
like transport ships and
yeah.
whatnot. So they had
Yep.
no way to defend themselves, which I'm not sure I agree with 100% because realistically they would have a way to defend themselves, even if it was a single cannon or two, but to not be able to have any, and then you're trying to make your living by doing this, and then it's like, okay, well, if you want protection on the seas, you have to go and hire these people to escort you, and if that company either has a previous obligation or no one is awake at the time, well, you're screwed.
Right.
You can take your chances.
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's
Don't come to
unsolvable.
me.
Hey,
Don't ask me.
I'm just thinking things over with you because you're not an
Yeah,
RP noob. Sorry, you don't get to say that. You've been doing
I
it a
do. It's
long.
been what, 4 years is not a long time.
Well, I've only been doing it
Maybe five.
2 years, maybe.
I've known you longer than 2 years, so that's a load of crap. Kitty,
I don't know,
you.
maybe 3 years. But anyway, um, you're the RP doctor. Sucks. um,
What? No, I'm
yep.
sorry. I'm not a
Mhm.
doctor.
Definitely a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
Speaking of the doctor, um, something else I saw you do way more than before, even though we also have done it together. The like joke fight insult junk that pretty much all pirates do, um, where you like sort of insults because we like you, whatever that junk is, right? Um,
Yeah.
that's like pretty constant across most things. It seems like. Would you agree?
What do you mean by most things?
Like most companies, most games, that's a thing
Uh,
a lot of people do, it seems like.
well, it's the first time really in an RP situation that I've done it because, as I said, excuse me, as I said before, I was in smaller companies that we didn't really do that. But with this
Um
one, there were so many different people, so many different personalities. Don't put your face on the mic, kitty. Um, I guess it became more prevalent.
the the doctor and Pierre sort of argued in a nice kind of way a lot.
Yeah,
And
but I wasn't with them till way, way after.
true, but I
So
mean, we probably ran almost a month with you in the company or more.
was it that long? I
Yeah.
hated Pierre. I'm sorry.
Well, sucks.
I mean, it was a
um
good character, but I was so used to Boxster.
yeah.
So obviously Pierre's was a more abrasive character,
Hmm.
and I think Samson kind of fell in between the two.
Yep.
Although every time he said "duh,"
Yeah,
and that was partially an OOC thing on my part,
me too.
just from past life experiences with someone,
Okay.
and over years of and that. So sometimes it would just catch me off guard the way I reacted. Obviously, it was going to be a negative reaction, but I was like, yeah, I really should put that aside because it has nothing to do with this. But it's difficult.
Well, that's actually another thing I want to talk to you about. Um so the joking insult kind of thing, I can't handle for very long personally. Like, I
Hmm.
much faster than anyone else, it's not a joke to me anymore, and I'm really trying to hurt your character. So at least once, maybe multiple times, I DM'd you afterwards and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, I was way too involved in that, that's my bad or whatever. um
Yeah, you did.
those are
Yeah.
things that I don't think a lot of people can do, and I think we could only do because we know each other for long amounts of time. um
Hmm.
Do you think that's something that players should do more
What do you
often?
mean by do? Do you mean
Yeah.
apologize out of character?
Well, if you recognize that you're mad personally, do you think you should apologize out of character? Yeah.
Well, I did it 2 days ago
In character,
with the
sure. Yeah.
improv thing.
Yeah.
With the improv thing, I apologized in character
Mhm.
because I wrote the journal, but
Mhm.
I also DM'd you and I DM'd Ayana and explained to her too.
These people don't know.
Because Chloe, okay, fine.
No,
You
no, no.
don't
I was
know.
saying that they don't know. So that's I was just trying to call it out. Like, hey, here's something we do. Do you think other people should do it? Yeah.
It's a personal choice. You can't make someone do it.
Mhm.
It would be nice because I've said this before. I don't like being mean. I can be, but I suffer severe guilt over it, even in RP. But that's just the way I am. So if I think I've reacted badly or I've done something I shouldn't have, I am racked with guilt for days. So if I
Yeah.
can, I will apologize in character and reach out of character.
Mhm. It's
So and that's why I couldn't be like a really hardcore evil pirate because it would tear me apart,
yeah.
even though it's a
Okay.
character.
Yeah.
And people are saying you have to separate in character from out of character. Yes, I get that. But when it's just the way you're made, it's
Mhm.
just the way you're made.
Yeah, definitely. In these interviews, in just random conversations, I've said to people, hey, a good thing you can do is message someone and be like, hey, I really like that, or it was great, or I appreciate it, or it was fun, or it made me laugh. But I don't think what we do is say, hey, I got too heated, or I hope you know that was all in character. I like you, kind of junk. So.
Yeah. See, I've never messaged someone saying I enjoy RP. We sent messages going, "I'm sorry, I'm such a fucking asshole. I didn't mean it."
I think you have said that to me. I assume
I
because we're
DM'd
friends,
you
but like
a bunch of times.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've done it.
Why? So you tell me a bunch all the time. I like Boxster. I miss Boxster, but
I love Boxster. Yes, go on. Sorry.
why? What kind of character is that you like? What other kind of characters are there that you like? Because I got 5, and you don't like at least 3 of them.
Not true. I have met Boxster
Uh-huh.
and Pierre and
Uh-huh.
Samson. Those are the only 3.
The Bransons, specifically,
Who?
whatever the country people that you joined but never really hung out with as Ma.
What?
When we were doing the ranch, yeah, you joined. You slept in the tub or some junk for a while when we had the ranch. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, no. You're mistaken. I never joined a country thing. I never slept in a tub.
Ask anyone.
This?
I don't know. I think it was ZZ. And
I never played on ZZ.
okay. The other one,
I've never played. I never even heard of ZZ till I joined GG and whatever. So
I'll find you proof. I'll find you proof. Don't worry. The other one is Spencer. Oh yeah, you woke up. You went to the Freeport and we took you. That's right. You never woke up after you made your character. Yeah, we stole you and put you in the house.
Oh, okay. See, there you go. See, I did not join. I don't even remember doing that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Shelter.
Wait, who's Spencer?
Spencer's the GTA kid that you want to see hang out with the sheriff, Slick's character.
Oh, I'm the 2 of you together. Slick's character was amazing.
Yeah.
That was it didn't last long, but it was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't count Spencer though, because that was just sort of like a little blip in the RP radar.
I mean, okay, okay.
I don't.
That's cool. You don't have to count them. They're my characters, bro. It's fine.
I think it was sort of a protection thing. Like Boxer just seemed so beat down, and he was trying his best, and things always seemed to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, gotta try and help this guy, gotta try and protect him. And I still remember when Boxster came to Elizabeth saying there's a strange man sitting outside. So I went to the window with a gun to ask who he was. And he said, "You know me, don't you recognize the mustache?" And I was like, "Anyone can grow a mustache." It was so stupid.
Yep.
But it was that sort of thing. And
yeah.
I had a lot of fun with Boxster too. I still remember the day I was repairing the dock and Boxer's like, no, let's go do something.
Yeah, freaking.
Why would you stand here?
Because you said it, I think, in okay, wait. Here's a better way to ask the entire topic. I've asked you multiple times to do these interview things. What do you always say?
No, this is the second time. No, second time. I say no.
Right. Why?
Because it's boring. Why? I figure it would be boring. I mean, I can talk to you.
Uh-huh.
But talking and a bunch of people are listening and being on, I hate being on streams. I despise it.
This is basically the same conversation I had with Slick, where I said, I think you're super, super important because you do these things that you think are boring, but everyone else can see and appreciate and like come to you for and all that junk. So like repairing the dock in front of your house all the time is incredibly boring in theory, but you came out of your house and you like created this little scene that was occurring so that when people would roll up, they weren't rolling up on a port, they were coming into a scene that was already happening. You know what I mean? Like you're literally making a world just so that other people can come in.
Okay.
And that's what Slick used to do on Slick. His character. But like there's all these people who like they don't have to run events, they don't have to run whatever. You're just doing something that other people can show up into. So it's not boring. Even if you claim, "Oh, I have to go gather." You don't have to gather. Your company has enough junk. You don't need to do it. But when you go out, you create the opportunity to be pirated, to be seen, to meet people. You like create opportunities. So it's not boring.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, I gather because yes, I'm playing the game, but if I didn't do that, either I would play less or I would fall asleep in my bloody chair because I have nothing to do. I have to keep active. So
Yeah.
yes, gathering is organizing is yes, it's playing the game, but I enjoy it. And that way, if somebody happens to come along or whatever, I'm there. Because how many people complain that when they go to a port, no one's awake?
Yeah, definitely. As I
So, and I have the stupidest hours because of insomnia. So,
yeah.
and I don't know. I don't think of it as creating an opportunity for someone. If it is, that's great. Hate being the center of attention. I would rather be way off in the back just listening. And that's another reason I don't like being on streams, but that's inevitable. If I want to avoid that, I gotta not RP.
Yeah. So when I said to Iker earlier, I think there's a third type, this facilitation, this producer RP. Like, I think that's you. I think that's Slick Deckfoot. I think that's all these people who don't run things and don't consume things, but they like make the world or whatever. They're somewhere just doing some junk, and then other people can fall into it. You facilitate. I don't know how to say it, but I think that's what you're doing, and I don't think it's boring, and it wouldn't, like, the whole game wouldn't exist if you didn't do it, basically.
That's not true. I mean, your characters do that all the time.
My
They're out doing
characters,
stuff, or they're doing events,
mm-hmm.
or they're taking shit from people or places, and you know.
True. I
don't think of them as leech characters.
Boxer's different. You can't include Boxer because I didn't know what I was doing. Technically.
Oh, okay, whatever. I had so much fun with Boxer, even if it was just doing nothing.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was just fun.
I agree, but Boxer's definitely not a leech character. At least not when he started.
Okay, see.
No. But I've played just as much time not as Boxer now as I played as Boxer, which is crazy sauce. But like Pierre lasted a long time, this not super long, and then all the random stuff we've tried to do in between sort of adds up. So I can't just think, oh, Boxer's the way I play, because that's definitely not. And Pierre's definitely not how I play all the time, but kind of is.
You had a character before Boxer, didn't you? Randall or something?
His name was Randall. He lasted some amount of weeks. He met Slick, and not a lot happened there, honestly, except I learned how to play the game. I literally started painting there and never stopped, which I think is pretty funny. Once they taught me how to paint, I was putting up a painting in the church to try and like add, because I thought it was so cool, even though I didn't know what I was doing.
And Samson still owes Isabel painting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I owe.
No, he would go to sleep and wake up on a Friday or a Saturday and go back to sleep.
Yeah, well, I was doing a lot of other stuff, you know.
I
At
know,
least I
I'm
was
kidding.
still running the events. Come on, I was just there for the
Yeah,
events
no, I
anyway.
know. Yeah,
Um,
they were fun and varied, which was nice. It wasn't the same thing every time.
yeah, I
Way
was
because,
trying new ideas and
excuse me.
stuff. So, um, you. Let me think. As far as I know, you've never created a second character within a season. Pretty sure.
No,
Because even
no,
Dr.
I
May,
have not.
when she swapped, she was still with us, the same character. Um,
The only thing
do you-
about Dr. May that changed was her voice.
well, yeah. Do you think, though, that the ends of seasons or the breaks in chapters or whatever, the wipes, do you think those are necessary?
For mental well-being? Yeah.
I mean, for
Do you mean like a memory wipe?
a memory wipe, sure. I'm talking more about the idea that, like, let's say you perma'd Isobel.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have made a new character?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
Uh, I guess it would depend on when
Mm-hmm.
in the season it happened. If it was near the end, I would probably just be like, okay, that's my story wrapped up. If
What
it
if
was,
what if
go
there
ahead.
are no season ends?
If it fit in with the RP, yeah, I
Okay.
would probably like if something happened to one of my characters, it's entirely possible I could make a new one. It's going to sound the same because I can't do bloody accents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would try it. I've never had the opportunity. Nothing really life threatening or really bad has ever happened to my characters. I think the closest would have been Alpha Romeo in the end of the last, was it the last Dark Side chapter or the one before? The one with Boxster. So I think that was the one, or
Oh
was it
yeah.
two before?
That was the beginning of the last season because
Yeah.
we were on that tiny island in the tundra or whatever. And then we
Yeah.
moved.
Yeah. And they rolled. No, we moved there. We didn't move away from it. But yeah, yeah, because
We moved again
Alpha
after that.
Romeo was. Did we?
Yeah, we moved. Well, I mean, yeah, you
Something
eventually
wrong.
came to. Yeah, we moved to the glittering island or whatever with the waterfalls.
Ah, yes, with Mythocles and
Hmm.
and Luna and that. Yeah, that's true. Um, yeah, I think the sort of Alpha Romeo thing that happened to my character, that was the only pirate company that scared the ever living shit out of me. Even OOC,
Hmm.
because I had heard so much about them, and then they roll up on the port, and I'm like, oh god, I'm dead. Oh god, I'm dead. That's my first thought. Um, but it went okay. I actually got to RP with someone I used to watch constantly, which was great. I was like, yay. But in that scenario, my character was blackmailed into
Hmm.
doing something, and I can pretty much guarantee that if she hadn't done it, that they probably would have permitted her. But I think uh, other RP sort of they got wrapped up in that and whatever, so
Hmm.
she kind of got forgotten about. Thank God. But yeah, I that probably would have been when I would have made another character because that was very early on, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing really life threatening's ever happened to anybody because they're I'm gonna say it, they're boring characters. They don't do a lot of adventuring and well, they do adventuring, but they don't get into situations that most people do.
Well, you were on a ton of pirate ships during a ton of pirate fights, and
Oh,
you were
okay, excluding this time.
okay. Yeah. um,
Excluding. Yeah, and I spent all of my time below deck with a bloody hammer saying, call the side, call the fucking side. I know where to
Perfect.
fix.
That one. Oh, something completely different. Um, but you are representative of a ton of people who feel the same way about events, server events, large scale public gatherings or whatever. Um, how do you
Which
feel
is
about big events? Well, I mean, I could just tell you how you feel if you want, or you can.
I
But how do you?
how do I feel?
And
You know
is
what?
there any way we can make it better?
Uh yeah, but this is just a personal thing because I don't like I have severe social anxiety. So going out in public for me is a struggle. Even in RP, huge crowds and a lot of noise, I have panic and anxiety attacks and I get stressed out. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what ladies' night can't do. I can't do it. It's just not I can't. Your events or Samson's, I should say, was okay because it wasn't on the same scale. Um I could leave if I wanted or I could just step back. But that's just me. I'm not really sure how to improve them. I don't know. Teach people to fucking whisper.
Well, whisper doesn't work
Not
on.
everybody,
Yeah.
granted, but it's like a lot. I get that people get there, they want to be heard, but it's hard to hear when you have 35, 40 people talking at once, talking over each other. You have somebody else playing music through their mic. You have somebody being an announcer. It's so chaotic.
What
But
about
it's hmm?
what about Boxer's birthday, which was basically, I mean, I'm not going to say, hey, it's the same number of people as Ladies' Night, but there were a lot of people there, like all with their own junk.
Yes, but my character at that time basically spent all her time down at the docks waiting for ships to come in and saying, okay, you're going that way,
Okay.
right? I think I went up twice. And even then it was fine, because it was like, okay, it's getting a bit too loud. I'm out.
Okay.
I understand,
Hmm.
I get it. Humans are freaking herd animals and they like to whatever, but I I don't. I am not going to have a freaking panic and anxiety attack for some bloody RP event. Fuck that noise.
I wonder
Pardon
if
my language.
I could, since I seem to run events, I wonder if I could just like make space, like this is quiet space, or this is when we were involved in a lot of piracy and stuff, like in Dark Side, it was more like people had places where they would go and have like quiet conversations away, and like they were kind of set up. So maybe that's something that event people can set up and include, like um, quiet areas or quiet meeting spots or whatever, so that nobody has to listen to everything the whole time.
Yeah, that's an idea because I did notice, especially with ladies' night, and that if anybody wanted to have a private conversation, they would just wander off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if somebody else walks in that direction, they ran the risk of overhearing the conversation, and depending on who it was talking and what they were saying, could put their character at risk.
Yeah.
So possibly if there were designated areas and they were pointed out, look, if you guys want to have a private conversation, go here. If you guys just want to, get away from the noise and have some peace and quiet, go there.
Graveyard's a good
That
idea.
way. Oh yeah, real quiet neighbors in the graveyard. Yeah,
Well,
libraries, you have to whisper. Perfect. Small parks, no, because when everybody builds their base, they got to chop down every bloody tree and rip up every bloody bush. So there's nothing but sand and rock. I don't know
Yeah.
about that one, I bite.
I hadn't really thought about. Well, I didn't think it was gonna be. I never thought it would be necessary for like on GG to have like quiet spots. Um, I'll think about it in the
I guess
future. Maybe I'll incorporate it.
most people don't have a problem. They love the huge events and the large gatherings.
I don't think
So
so. I think there's a lot more people just like you than you think. Um,
I've yet to meet the only one that was be similar to my characters where it would come where in regards to that would have been uh Icarus' character Riley.
mhm.
She was very quiet and very, I don't know if I'd say reserved or laid back, but I mean, I always tried to make an effort to talk to her because it just seemed like she was overwhelmed by this huge group of all this massive gathering of testosterone. And I was like, the poor woman.
Yeah.
Everybody is all, so and then when I think it was at Sub Rosa's Island when I ran and I'd known about Murphy and all the guys are like yak 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 yak. And there she is just standing there. And I'm like, nobody's even asking her how she feels about Murphy being gone. This poor woman. These guys are just like, oh, we're gonna go and shoot this. Oh, we're gonna pirate this. I was like, you guys are jerks.
Not to call you out,
I'm gonna, what?
but
What did I do? What?
when
What
when
did I
people when people come to me and they say, and I don't understand and I disagree, but when they say, hey, you always include people and you always, make an effort to go talk to people who don't seem to be included, even if it's a couple words or whatever. Like, people say that junk to me and I don't really think I'm doing it, but if that's the mark of good RP, you're doing it all the time. So, surprise, you're doing good RP. You're not boring. Again, ha, got him.
Okay, so my characters are milk toast then compared to a lot of people.
Well,
They're
yeah, that's
average
true.
run of the mill. Wow.
No,
You've
I'm
changed. No, I'm
no.
kidding. I know.
Here's what I'm saying. I think that there's a lot of people. Hey, this is actually another question that I had, but I think there's a lot of people who are playing insane caricatures of like stereotypes, like or they're just playing someone you could never ever meet, like
Mhm.
our society is going to beat that person down until they're smaller, right? But in RP, their character is just like flowing everywhere and like you can't stop it, right?
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of people who do that. And segue. You I assume it's still okay to tell people what we watch.
Oh, of course, yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
you and I watch, for example, RuPaul's Drag Race, which is very
Mhm.
over the top, very dramatic, very
Stage.
flamboyant, stage.
Yeah.
Sure. But and this is two questions. First, because I know you so well and I know who you play and I know who you are, do you think that you in a next step could play, for example, a drag queen because you're so familiar with that culture and the jokes and everything that goes into it? As a character, do you think you could take that step?
Well, technically it would be a drag king because I'm
Yes,
a
I know.
woman. Uh, I probably could, and I would have a lot of fun with it, I think.
Hmm.
Other people, not so much. I think they would get really, really annoyed because, as you and I both know, drag queens are very loud. They're very in your face. They're very fuck what you think. This is me, and I'm not changing.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I would have fun with it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people would not.
Okay.
'Cause yeah, I don't know. I think it would be fun. It would be funny too.
I think the things you've said in the past, my characters are boring. I can only play one thing. I can't do
That's my
accents.
personal opinion. That's my
No,
personal
no,
opinion. That
I know, but I'm making a point here. Sorry, I get to make a lot of points with you
okay,
because I know you really well, and I can like lead you into them.
damn
um,
it.
so you've said all this junk, right? And you say, "Oh, I can't
Uh-huh.
do accents. I can't do whatever." But I also think you could play a drag queen. You could make a male character, use your voice, and just be a drag queen and just go at it, right? And it would be insanely funny for anyone who
That
met
no,
you.
that never even occurred to me to make a male character. What the
Okay.
hell is wrong with me?
But my point is, do you think that there are a lot of people who think that they're boxed into these characters that they play because that's all they know, when in reality literally all they have to do is try something else and it'll be amazing, or at least it could be amazing? Do you think we feel boxed in?
I think I don't know if it's boxed in if so much as a comfort thing.
Mhm.
Someone will play a character and it'll work for them and the stories will flow so they become comfortable and they're like, well, I don't know if I want to take the chance or the risk of doing something else because it might not work out. People may not like it and whatever. And I've kind of guilty of the same thing. But as I said a few days ago in a Discord, I'm in my 50s. I do what the fuck I want.
Mhm.
I do care about people's opinions, like, which
Mhm.
really I shouldn't, but it's more like I, and again, being a pirate, even though it was a nice one, I don't like conflict
Mhm.
because when I react to conflict, it's out of fear and it's usually read as anger. And a lot of people have a hard time telling the difference between that. So when I get loud or I say certain things, I'm not angry, I'm scared.
Right.
But it's possible. Like, I don't know everyone. I really, I don't know a lot of people. And the fact that somebody could have a character and play it and it's great, and then they come back and they have a new character and it's completely different, I think it's amazing. And I
Yep.
get into my head, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. But then you've made this drag queen suggestion, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I could do that.
Mhm.
And I really should try it. So it might be comfort. It could be fear.
Mhm.
They're always like, try new things, try new, and it's like, so yeah, try new things, people. And and
Heard it here first.
and you try things. And if I don't, feel free to call me out on my shit because I didn't do it.
No, it doesn't matter who you play. I'm just trying to get at like the ideas behind, because again, I
It's
think there's
possible.
I think there's a lot of us, including me, including the people who seem like they got it together. Like, I think we're all scared a little bit, at least, or we're all worried or whatever, because it's freaking scary to talk to other people, and
Ugh, yeah.
freaks me out.
I
Anyway,
hate it.
let's not
And that
think about it. Oh
amazes me
God.
that that scares you because you were like, from even though what I've seen, you don't strike me as someone who doesn't like to talk to other people, who's scared
Yep.
to talk to others. So knowing that and seeing how you've RP'd in the past, no one has an excuse because if you can do it, I can do it. Others can do it too.
Okay.
Although I'm drawing the line at huge crowds. Screw that. Nope, not doing that.
Right. We'll work on huge crowds. I'll figure out a way to make it okay.
Yeah.
Um.
Okay.
Oh, Shelter's a great person who started over in the middle of seasons. I should ask that guy. I'll ask that guy. Um.
Yeah, ask
The,
that guy.
the second part of my question, though, is so drag queen idea, great idea, right? We've also
Oh yeah.
met, you and I have met gender diverse,
Mythically? Oh,
well,
sorry. You were
sure.
talking about drag queens, so
Yeah. Gender diverse
I'm
people,
sorry. I love
polyamorous
the man. I love
people,
it. Yeah.
gay people, queer
Mm-hmm.
people, all in game, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's obviously totally cool to both of us, and we accept it, right?
Yeah.
Also, many people are playing, like I said before, caricatures of pirates, right? So it's a real pirate would do this, but I'm more aggressive than that. I'm over the top, or whatever the character is, they're playing caricatures, right? Is that
Mm-hmm.
okay to do with these more sensitive subjects?
I think as long as it's done with respect, like if you're just doing it to be exploitive or belittle, no, you're an asshole. But if it's done in a humorous way that isn't trying to make them seem less than, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know the character's name or the person who played them, but they were in the Bizarre Boutique group.
Uh,
Um,
Either Jeannie or
no,
Teresa,
it was
Giovanni,
it was
the third one.
the tall woman. Can't remember her name because
Yeah,
there
Jeannie.
were
I'm pretty sure. Her bathwater and all
there
that
were
junk. Oh,
no. There were four people in that. There were three women, or there were two women, a man, and the tallest one, who whenever I heard her speak, she was at one of the events for the sculpting and that. But as soon as I heard her speak, I was like, drag queen. Was it Jean? I'm so bad with names.
okay. The
I loved
the
that character.
the one who kept asking Murphy to take his shirt off.
Probably, yes.
That's
That character
Jeannie.
was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They sold her
And
bathwater.
I didn't know it was her. I thought it was one of the other ones. But I I don't think that character was done to, you know, make that
Mm-hmm.
sort of shine a spotlight on, okay, this is not how things should be. It was done in a fun way and it was
Yeah.
respectful.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was great. I only think I met them like two or three times. But I could have
I
listened to them talk for hours.
I know of characters who are played by opposite gender players that we don't even know, like in character, that they are played by opposite gender, or at least I can't tell. But I have trouble with that, as we know. But
One of the other bizarre people was they played a guy in the people. I didn't know it was a woman playing that character. I thought
mm-hmm,
it was a guy. I was
mm-hmm,
like, that's amazing.
I agree. I I I think we're all really like sensitive about what might come out of a person's face in the game, because there's so much that could happen, right? Like you can just say and do whatever. um and I'll use the example that I've definitely used before of GobTube when he first rocked up on Osas.
I was just gonna say that. I had no
Literally
problem.
everyone was ready for that dude to be insanely racist, and the first sentence we were like, oh, this cannot go well, and the second sentence we were like, all right, we're good, nothing bad has happened.
Really? That's okay. I heard that. I met that character, and I heard the voice. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Mhm.
And then when he said his name, after about 30 seconds of stunned silence, I was like, what? But
Mhm.
never once did my mind automatically jump to any sort of racist thing. Not
Okay.
once. I was like, this is a great character. This is going to be amazing.
Mhm.
This person's funny, blah, blah, blah. Then I find out he's Brazilian, and I'm like, cool. Because that's not what I thought listening to the
Yep.
voice. sounds terrible, but I'm being honest. And
Hmm.
then I find out afterwards that people were like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't appropriate because this is not a person of color. And I was like, but the
Hmm.
character isn't being played in a way that is trying to demean someone
Hmm.
or not
Yep.
someone or, a race at all. So that surprised me that people thought that way because I was just like, this is a great character.
Yeah. Well, it's that idea of caricature and stereotype, I think. Like if everyone around you is this larger than life pirate or this I don't know, insanely absorbed fashionista or whatever. So when something that could go wrong appears in front of you, and it would be wrong if it was, over the top in that same way, I think people worry, just like I think they would worry about every other sensitive topic. But I also think you and I both agree, like, put those sensitive topics out there. Let's freaking do it. I mean, tell the freaking story and just
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
don't be a douche about it.
Don't exactly. Don't do it to humiliate and belittle. Like, I get it. It's a really sensitive topic now, but I'm one of those people, what? People are who they are. I don't care. There are only two restrictions I have in regards to things. I'm not going to mention them right now, but other than that, that's
Okay.
it. As long I'm not going to bring it. It's not something for this public forum. Um I don't have a people. I don't have a people. I don't. I don't
Mhm.
have an issue with a lot of things that people get offended about because more often than not, they're not offended. They just don't agree or like it. And that's a them problem.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, unless it's overt and deliberate, calm down, go do something to chill out and live your own life and stop being so concerned with other people. If it doesn't affect you negatively, it's none of your goddamn business.
Speaking of that and exactly not that at the same time, since we
Okay.
w- s- since we are experienced RPers, even if you say you're not, and chat, sorry, your experience too. Do we and did we have a responsibility to teach the people in our company to be better than occasionally they were?
I I don't know if I don't know if I would use the terminology be better because I hate it when someone says, "Oh, that's not good RP." It's like unless it's something really bad, then RP is RP. Some people oops, I just bumped my little thingy. Some people I mean, I was terrible. I think so I still screw up, but there's no good or bad RP. It's different. It's not everyone RPs the same way. If it
Hmm?
comes to terminology or game mechanics that you can explain in a way that helps the person but doesn't make them feel like an idiot, sure. Because nobody likes to be called out on anything. A lot of like I mean, people are it's like flex your whatever muscle. Like that makes me cringe, but how else can you explain it in an
Yo, I
RP scenario that makes sense?
I can do it. I could do any of them.
Okay.
I could
Okay, go
do it.
ahead.
Which
How do
which
I how
hmm
how do I take my hat off? This is an RP situation, okay? So
Yeah.
how do I take my hat off?
Yeah, if you want to take your hat off, you just drag it off your head, obviously. Duh. Put your hand up there and drag it off.
Okay, but how are you going to explain to the person that it's an emote to hide your hat? That's what I'm talking about. Not just take it off to hide it. So you're still
Oh.
wearing it, but no one else can see it. Yes.
Oh, well, hey, I didn't know
It,
how to do that, but let me think about it real quick. What do you need to do? Tea or some junk?
you have to hold T down. You have to
Okay.
hit play emote, and then you have to choose hide hat.
All right.
So explain that in RP.
Boom, I got it. Okay, so
Okay.
so what you want to do is you want to express
Yeah.
yourself a little bit differently than other people, right? You know, because your emotions are obviously different than the other people, so you know you got to get into your emotions and express yourself differently. And if you don't know it from then, if you don't know that you have to do the T junk, what you want to do is uh, you want to take off your hat, right? You got to take it off. So
But you're not taking it off, you're hiding it.
you know how sometimes when the wind blows, it's like whistling, you know? You want to blow your hat off, right? So it's the same idea as a whistling, right? So but it's like a sustained wind, right? Obviously, because your hat isn't coming off, you know, it's not the popping back on. So you got to kind of sustain that whistle, right? And then once you got it to sustained, then you got to dig into your emotions and express yourself differently, obviously.
Okay, that would work with someone who's maybe played for a while, but someone
Yeah.
who's completely new.
Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly. That
that's
works too.
that's
What
the
Shelter
problem. Can you wave your hand? Just reach over a little more and get. Oh well, yeah, if you know how to do the emotes. But I actually kept forgetting and taking mine off. That's something we talked about with
Yeah.
Iker.
Or there's
How
also yeah.
like I lost my mind trying to tell her how to check the stats on a ship because it's impossible. Like F. Freaking F. I don't know. But when
Yeah.
she didn't get it, I still made it because she didn't get it, and I said, you know what? Just F it. I don't care. F this. F it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then she could get it but it took a while to get there, which was really annoying. And I couldn't just say, you know what? F it. I don't care. But like I think if you're willing to stand there with someone and go through it, it can be rewarding. But do we have a responsibility to help people RP better? I don't know. I think so, but they got to be willing to and all that junk, you know, so I don't know. We got off topic, but that's where we started. Oh, Shrimps is dead.
No, I didn't. I wasn't. I was coughing, so I muted my mic. I
Mm-hmm,
don't know if it's so much a responsibility as I would like to help people feel more comfortable or understand things better.
Well, for example, people who say the muscle junk, like, it grates on our nerves, but also let them do it. It doesn't matter. So should we try and help them? Should we say, hey, I know how to do this, in the same way that like we're saying celestial stars time or eastern stars time instead of EST or whatever? Like that's a really small thing that we do.
Yeah, you could just say it back to them using whatever it is you say that makes more sense in RP. You could say, oh, so you mean blah blah blah, and then hopefully they're like, oh, you know what, that's actually a better way of getting the point across. I'll do that from now on. You know, because when like first person, so hard to explain. I've heard it on other RP servers, especially in GTA. They're like, look through your eyes, and I'm
Look
like,
through your
what the
eyes.
fuck? That's what you do. So I just say, just take a closer look or look more closely at it, and that's my way of saying go into first person. I don't know if people understand that when I say it, but I haven't had yet. I have not had somebody say, I don't get what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, but I understand there are many, many limitations. when it
Shelter's
comes to
Shelter's tiger has 180 claws. Seems
yeah. See,
overclawed.
you know what? When people say like, or like, especially with tames, they're like, oh, well, this tame was whatever. I just say, you know what? This animal is 67 years old. I don't bother with claws. I don't bother with feathers. I don't bother with teeth. That's the age of the animal. Because then again, how would I even know that? Like, how would you know? Just looking at the animal. Like, oh, this whatever, this bear was born with, like he said, like 180 claws. Like, okay, so you've got a freaking ball of fur and claws. What are you going to do with that? Like, train it to kill things? Because that's all it is. I don't know.
Okay, so on
I
that,
don't breed.
me and Gob
Oh,
specifically.
sorry.
What? You apologizing to me?
I
Oh,
was
she's
coughing.
coughing.
So
Yeah, you're coughing. You're
couldn't
good.
hear.
You're good. You're good. So on that,
Need water?
everybody water. Nightbot, where were you?
Mm. Yes,
So-
Kitty. I'm talking to somebody else who's not you. Calm down. Sorry. Go ahead.
Gob and I consider ourselves leech characters, and there are other people who play like us, but there are also nice one. There are also wow, that's really disruptive. I would hate if someone did that during a conversation over and over again.
Or a wedding.
For the record, at least Azuraka may be outlawed as well. We're also honking during their own ceremony. So what could I do?
Wait a second. Wait a sec. They were in an RP scenario with you, and they were in your stream.
Oh no! How dare
No.
they?
I know.
Mhm.
I actually made a point of staying out of your stream if I was RPing with you.
Thank you. Definitely stay out of the streams of people you are right next to or in the same zone of, please and thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's understandable. It's the last day and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there on that bench going, oh, I hope people start redeeming honks. I hope they start redeeming honks.
I made it way farther than I thought I would, and I was like, "Uh-oh, well, it's not gonna happen." And then I couldn't say any other words, so.
And then you quoting Prince's "Let's Go Crazy," I lost it. I'm so glad I wasn't talking. It was the best.
Man. It was good. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Gob and I play these characters. Other people play without the HUD. Other people don't look at game mechanics right. So, in my opinion, we're not only leeching from the characters, like the RP, the company, well, not RP, but we're leeching materials from the company, but also we don't know how to do any of the stuff that you guys struggle with all the time. And so that's one of the things that I think we should do, and I think that I want to do personally, and I'd like your input on this, but I've never sold an animal, so I can't even think about how to sell a tiger with 180 claws, right? Like I can't tell someone here's a better option because I've never done it. I've never bred. I've never built an actually good ship or any of that junk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think obviously we don't have to, but do you think it would make us better characters and better players if we knew that junk?
No. There's a ton of stuff in the Atlas I have no clue about. And I don't think the lack of that makes any character I play bad or worse, or because somebody knows something that my character doesn't, it makes them better. It's all different. And if you want to sell an animal, just tell the person, you know what, look, this is a really good bear. It has no training, so you can train it yourself. That's that way you don't have to worry about all that nonsense.
Well, sure,
Which
but
I don't think matters.
of course it doesn't matter. of course it doesn't
excuse
matter.
me, sorry.
But Ewok and Hidalgo trying to sell animals, trying to sell, I think they were selling foxes and
Crows.
wolves, right? But
Yep.
they had to move
Yep.
into crows because nobody would buy them based on colors, right? So then they were trying to do all this color junk, and everyone just cared about the stats. That's a thing we all know happens. Like, everyone has
Yep.
experienced that. Everyone's been there. But I've never even tried. Like, so except for what people have told me, I can't tell you anything about it. I can't try and help them. I can't even conceptualize a character that does it because I just don't know.
Care?
Well, I also don't care. Yeah. But I want to say
I don't understand it.
I would be a better character, or a better player at least. I would be a better player if that was in my wheelhouse, for example. Like, hey, I could be an animal seller too if I really wanted to. Maybe someone who only does seagulls, right? Okay, so I only sell seagulls, but I have experience with it, so I know how to breed them, I know how to get colors, I know how to do whatever. I can make this character. And you don't think that would make me a better player?
No. Because a lot of the stuff in breeding is random. It's RNG.
True.
So what are you gonna do? Like, factor out the odds for all that crap? That's not gonna make you a better RP, or it's just gonna drive you bonkers.
How about this?
Or just pretend, just be like the worst. Say that this animal is amazing and blah blah blah, and then sell a piece of garbage.
Yeah, that's true.
A level 1 seagull that you got at the frickin' seaport, like, and that. And you're gonna have to give me like 2 seconds because, hey everybody, I'm about to wet my pants because a lot
Great
of
job.
water. I'll be right back.
Well, we have been here for an hour and a half, but yeah, go on. Yeah, Telescope. I was there for that. I got a fox. I also hid in the grass for some reason that I can't remember because I was scared of something. I don't know who you played on those on Dark Side, but I was there. We're gonna do a test on music real quick while she's gone. Is this really freaking loud? See you later, I bite. No. What the heck? Simi Sea Carver? Never heard of you. Goldview. Hey! Whoa, hold on. Goldview. We know Goldview. That's the, like, green and yellow company, right? One of the first jobs I ran as Pierre was at Goldview. Nuh-uh, you're that tall redhead person? No way.
No
Yo,
way.
all right.
Who are we talking about?
Hold on.
Wait, did I have my mic open the whole time?
No, we have no idea what you said or anything. So, oh man, I can't believe that was. I mean, I knew IT guy's name. I didn't know that was you. But one of the first jobs I did as Pierre, I claimed a galleon was sinking off the coast, and I had brought my schooner and a horse with a cart or some junk, and Goldview loaded up a bunch of stuff, and it was all fake, and I made it all up, right, and I stole all that junk. But that was like the first Pierre scam that ever went down. It sounds like that was you too. Wow. I was just
glad I'm not the only one who can't remember people from ages ago, and I feel bad when they remember my characters.
It happens. I remember all the scams more than anything because I spent a lot of time trying to make them work, basically.
Yeah, well, you tell me your name and 3 seconds later I've forgotten who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I am that bad.
Talking about, I had a question.
Hey, I don't know. We
Scroll
were
up.
talking about breeding.
Oh
and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
And then
How do I help them? I can't possibly help them.
help who?
People who are trying to play the game that way.
What way? Oh,
Like
with the
as
breeding
breeders,
and
I can't help them is what we were talking about because I don't know how.
yeah, but also as what you were saying before, no, it not knowing that stuff does not make you bad or like bad at RP or the character bad. Because I have no clue about crafting. But if somebody was to throw a mythical blueprint at me, I'd be hell yeah, I'll go make it. It's gonna be like
Oh.
they're gonna think it's shit, but to me, it's like, hey, I made this. This is cool, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna
remember.
go swim with a dolphin and perch a crow on my shoulder and up my intelligence so that if somebody just sneezes on me, my character drops dead.
I remember
don't know.
the thought that I had. So I talk a lot about gratitude and the time people put into junk, right? So let's talk about it from the other side. Tiny bred so many bears, right? So many
don't
bears.
even. Ugh.
And I know her name's not Bubbles, but that's all I can think right now. The crow breeder bred so many crows.
Amelia.
Yeah, I was trying to think of her player name. It's like
Oh, jeez.
Something. I could come up with it anyway. So both of them. Oh yeah. It was B something. Hold on. Well, now we gotta know. We gotta know. We gotta know. Whoops, clicking random things. Bumblebee.
Oh,
Miss
the
Bumblebee.
things. Oh, duh. That's right, because it
Yeah.
was yellow and black.
Yeah. So, okay. So both of these people, or for example, Ewok and Hidalgo, or Lady Nari, all of these people, they put in, time, and they make these, or even Ayana with the parrots, right? The red parrots and the black parrots. All this time goes into them, right? They don't matter to me at all. And not only do they not matter to me at all, I can't tell a good one from a bad one. So when I give one away, or I shoot one, or I lose one in the ocean, it doesn't matter to me at all. But like hours and hours and hours went into that animal, probably. So would it not make me a better player to understand that this animal is time spent, and to like have gratitude and stuff towards the player who created it, basically? You know what I mean?
Well, you could be grateful for whatever tame they give or sell you, and if you do happen to lose it, your character can feel bad about that because it was a gift or whatever. But feeling bad because this bear did like 2,000 melee, or it had like 6,000 health, or could carry 50,000 pounds, no, that's silly.
I murdered an
You
all
know,
red
like when
parrot, and I felt bad because I knew that took time. I don't know how long it took. I have no
Exactly.
idea.
Yeah, but feel bad because it was maybe a gift or something, and it meant something to your character. Maybe you don't have like this freaking soulmate bond, but don't feel bad because it had a super high level or whatever, because your character doesn't know that, They wouldn't know that because they're not breeding. So anytime I lost, when I way back, I can't remember, one of the first seasons on Dark Side, that one of the people from Neptune Company gave me a bear, which I thought was really nice. And when that bear got killed, I felt terrible, and my character felt so bad because it was a gift that she had received from someone. And, obviously I told the person I felt terrible, and they gave me another bear. I went through 4 bloody bears. And then finding out after the fact that this person bred bears and these were damn good bears, and I had no clue. I just felt bad because I had a pet someone to give me and they were getting murdered.
True.
No, I don't think it would make you better at RP. It doesn't make you not good that you don't know these things. But if you're like, oh yeah, I don't give a shit, blah, blah, blah. But if you're going to appreciate the time and effort somebody put into it, that's fine. But knowing all those statistics and all the lineages for breeding, nah. It's like Da Vinci Code crap. No.
Well,
Yeah, and
so
like Shelter said, if it's not my animal, I feel even worse.
I used your name as Pierre to steal, sort of, or at least get a discount of a bear from Lady Nari, who said, well, it's not that great of a bear or whatever, and it was like super early days of a server, right? So
Wait, my character's name?
yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, whatever. So
I didn't know this.
yeah, you knew. I told you. I could go find it. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay, it's possible. Brain
So
like a sieve.
oh god, she's here. So that bear meant basically nothing to her because it was like brand new server, up for sale, pretty cheap, all that junk, right? And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we gave it away or I killed it or something eventually. I have no idea because I don't remember having a bear for very long. But all of the bears in Tiny's barn, Tiny had spent hours and hours on. Like, and when I went to kill them, I could not. I really wanted to kill all those animals. And I thought about killing all those animals for a long time on stream, and I just couldn't because the investment into those animals specifically was like weeks long. Or like, it's not just, hey, I tamed a bear, here, have a bear. It's a really good bear or it's a bad bear. It's, I tamed some bears and I bred them and they have these colors and whatever, all the way down, right? Like, the investment there is insane and I can't even conceptualize it. So maybe if I had known, I would have killed all the bears.
You couldn't have murdered a bunch of bears because of all the time and effort that went into them, but you leveled a cathedral that somebody put time and effort into. You blew up trade docks that someone put time and effort into. It, like, where's the distinction?
Because I can't tell the investment. To me, it seems like a lot of investment to breed, and it doesn't seem like a lot of investment to build at all. Like, Murphy.
Did you see that church? Like, did you actually like inside it out?
Yeah, we walked in and explored it and junk. It was really good.
None of my characters could have ever done anything like that. I can't even do anything like that. I can't even conceptualize. Well, I could, but the execution would be beyond me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was
to
really
me,
good.
They're kind of the same thing. Because I mean, Tiny, he'll breed bears and whatever. And anything that's bad, he don't care if it's like, 3 hours or 30 seconds old. He puts a bullet in it.
Yeah.
Because it didn't turn out the way he wanted. And I'm like, oh my God, these poor baby bears. The barn is littered with them.
And I know tons of people who do that junk, right? Like, they were burning parrots nonstop and they were burning monkeys nonstop at the Coldicots. But
yeah,
since I have no concept, I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I think the knowledge, I think that it would make me a better player just because then I would have the knowledge of what I was doing.
But you
Like,
already know. That's what you've already just said it. The hours and hours and the time and effort that went into improving the breeding stock. So you are aware that it's a lot of work, but having your character know that specifically, like the, like the health and the melee and the stamina and that's not going to make any difference. You already know.
you don't think there's a difference between gathering like wood, thatch, and fiber for 30 minutes and building the base of a castle? Like, that was nothing to me. I mean, I didn't gather any of it, but like
Uh-huh.
all those resources were nothing to me. But like the time spent breeding to me is different because that's all you can do. Like, as far as I know anyway, you can't leave, I don't think. I have
Yes,
no
you can.
idea.
You can. Yeah.
Look, I
Like-
remember
like,
Stanley breeding. That's the breeding I know.
Yeah. But look what Shelter said. On
I know,
GG, it's like
yeah.
super quick. And even on Dark Side, there's, so if you're going to use GG as an example, breeding is child's play because it happens so quick and you can do whatever. It's still time and effort invested, but not as much where you're not waiting like days or a week before you can try again.
Yeah, true. I gotta mess with it, I think.
Okay,
Just to know.
So are you going to apply that to crafting too then?
I had intended to make Samson a crafter as an intellectual or whatever, but a couple reasons stopped me from it.
I mean, do you think it would make you what?
Oh yeah, like I gave away junk in the prizes. I have no idea what was in there, and
I did, and I would.
At one point, Seamus was like, "Oh, the prizes are really good this week," and I was like, "I guess. I mean, I just pick randomly all the time, so sure."
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you understood the time and effort that went into crafting, like the same way you're saying about breeding, would that make you care more about, or do you think it would make you better at RP, to use your words? If you realize the time and effort because of all the different resources that are required to craft the higher end stuff, and also it like mythical, because that's even more expensive because it takes mythos to repair. So if you knew more in depth about crafting, do you think that would make your character maybe not be so cavalier about giving stuff away, or just like, I don't care about this junk, just throw it on the ground or whatever? Or is it only going to apply in regards to breeding?
Well, no, I would definitely want, and I think it would change for any aspect. Breeding, taming, crafting, cooking.
Yeah, cooking is nothing. Don't even bother with cooking. That's so easy to do, and most people eat pork pies and fish and chips only.
Yeah, I know, but never done it.
But I think. So you think it would make you a better RPer to know more about crafting also? I don't.
I think that it would marginally change the way I play the characters. For example, I think Samson would have given away better things because
Samson was giving away damn good stuff. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, but there was a ton of it, and basically what I did was I picked mid-range or high range of whatever we had multiples of. But I do know that things like durability are more important, but I don't know which ones they're more important on. Like hatchets, I think need more durability, right? But
weapons are damage,
if I had been able to pick based on crafting or been able to tell what the bonuses were, I would have given away probably better stuff because I was literally picking at random. But
I know, I watched you a few times.
On the other side of that,
one of those.
imagine if I had known the value of things when I was Pierre, I would be able to tell the loot coming in, like the value of the loot, like, oh, if I rob this person again, I get better loot, that sort of thing. So it wouldn't necessarily make me play any differently, but I would have more options, I think, because I have more knowledge. Knowledge is power, bro. So I just think
Okay.
I,
In this aspect, I really don't think knowledge is power.
okay.
RP, you're supposed to just. I mean, if you know these things, if that's what your character is about, then that's fine. But somebody else not knowing them doesn't make them worse at RP.
Yeah, for sure.
That's,
I'm not
and
about saying people are better.
yeah,
We're here to make me a better RPer. That's what we're here for. I said it at the beginning.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what
I
we're here
don't.
for.
Yeah, I don't think it would make you better at RP to know all the intricate ins and outs of animal stats and breeding. I
Okay.
don't think it would make you better at RP. That's just my personal opinion. But it's like Shelter said, in RP they only have sentimental value.
Yeah.
When I lost all my stuff when I was with Pirate Bros, because I don't know, I remember my mom called me and I had to go over her place real quick. She just lives close by,
Yeah.
and I completely forgot that I had Atlas running. And when I came back, my character was dead,
Hmm.
and all my stuff was gone.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh no. And I felt terrible because of the time and effort that Seamus had put into making that stuff, because
Sorry,
he was the
Seamus.
crafter. And I explained in RP what had happened, that I, I I passed out and I couldn't find my stuff and everything. And I said, I feel really bad. And Seamus was like, you know what, you're fine. That's all that matters. It's just stuff. It can be replaced.
Yeah.
But I still felt bad because you know, but that was only because somebody had taken the time and effort to make it, not because, it had all these stats or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
know,
like,
I know. I was just working through the idea, I guess.
yeah, it's like,
It's
it's your
true.
choice. Like, I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do in
Yeah.
our.
Oh no, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
So I'm going to do it. Okay. Get it.
Maybe.
You
Oh
can't
gosh,
stop
I would have to
me.
play.
It's a lot
Jeez.
of work. It's a lot of work because I mean, Bumblebee mentioned in RP, like, she had tons and tons of papers and everything just covered in stats and all this. I would be like, I could not do that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, kudos to her for putting that much effort into it. Me? Nope.
No. Also no.
That's a lot. Yeah. And yeah, like
Um.
Cal said too, animals, I grow attached to them. And when they get killed, I feel so bad.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, most of the time it's as a joke. Like Longface Killer not being afraid of anything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if he had died, whatever, I wouldn't have even thought about it. But since the joke kept going, it's funny. Or like Stacy,
They're
who I
heartless.
built a whole mansion for,
Oh
as a
God, that
joke.
damn sheep. That sheep.
Yeah, I had a
I
sheep.
remember sheep.
She lasted like months and months and months. Yeah.
That castle was an eyesore.
No, it wasn't. You don't know. Oh, you mean the nice castle? What?
Stacy? Yes.
Stacy's mansion was
Stacy?
beautiful, and you're wrong.
It was a nightmare. I think it's a reflection of how your mind works, because you had Stacy's castle, and then the nice
Mansion.
castle,
It was a mansion.
and
Okay,
then
it was different.
okay, mansion. Sorry. Okay, Stacy's mansion, and then the nice castle, and then Boxer's box on Mythicles and Luna's island.
Was genius.
Nothing you
Are you
built.
kidding? That whole sucker was covered in paintings. It was beautiful.
No. You're not letting me explain. Nothing is straightforward. To
Yeah.
get somewhere, it's like twists and turns so I don't know, that to me that's like a reflection of the way your mind works. Like nothing is straight. Like it can be straightforward, but hey, let's veer off in this direction and see where it goes, or let's follow this tangent and see where it leads.
Yeah,
Which is
bec-
is great, but my God, walking through those places you build is a nightmare.
in my opinion, the only reason you should build anything is for other people to experience it. And if you're building a house, it should be like if you want it realistic, make it so realistic that when people come in, they're like, holy crap, this is a house. This isn't an Atlas building. Or if you're building a mansion to hide a hole in the wall, make it a freaking mansion, like so that other people don't see, oh, this is a house. They see this is a mansion, and when they learn that there's a hole behind it, oh, this is insane, like I'm experiencing it. That's my opinion. Whatever.
Yeah.
No,
No, I'm not. There's nothing wrong.
Trade docs. No.
I can't do that.
Get those out of here. We don't need trade docs. That's
Okay.
terrible. No, we don't need that.
Well, I don't know. I build boxes with a
Make
window
the
and a
trade
door.
docks
So.
a curve so that you can cruise in, anchor sideways, drop all your junk off, and then cruise away. Perfect.
Yes.
I don't-
I love that idea.
It should
Not
be
just
an
backing
experience.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah, like a drive-through.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that I agree with. Docks like that would be really cool. And then just build a roundabout, so people come in, they do their trading, and then they exit out this way, and someone else is entering in that way.
Exactly.
Oh, that might be hard for Americans. They really don't know how roundabouts work so well.
I have 4
Not all of
roundabouts in
them.
my neighborhood, for the record. So
Okay, there you go. That's why I just said not all of them. Hell, we have roundabouts here, and most Canadians are, duh, what's this? I just said it. See?
yeah. Anyway.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. Everyone's accepted for your building. You build whatever you want. It's cool. I don't mind personally, but if you got the time and you got
As
the
long as
stuff, make it crazy.
Don't use stone, people. Please don't
I
use
mean,
stone.
yeah, I guess don't use stone. Oh.
I mean, wood looks better, and the stone
And-
is just monster headaches.
Yeah. Sorry, Preceptor. I would have built it. I mean, I built our dock, most of it, some of it. So, yeah. Shrimps,
Said the way around, Francois. Yes.
do you have anything to tell new players or otherwise?
Have fun. Don't stress. Say yes. Hey, that rhymed. Woo. I don't know. Just try to enjoy yourself. Don't get hung up on stupid stuff. I do it. Don't do it. I don't know. Who am I
Stupid
to,
stuff.
to tell new people?
You're the RP doctor. We covered that already.
I said at the beginning of this, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Just have fun. If you can't make like a really weird, extreme, not extreme, but this character, make one that I don't know. I was gonna say, well, make one that's kind of close to you. People say, don't RP as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Everybody, to an extent, RPs as themselves. It's just the way it is. It's going to creep in there whether you want it to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Have fun. Don't take everything too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose your shit in RP, just remember it's RP, not OOC. If you do something you feel really bad about in RP and you think you might need to, apologize out of character. I am not a doctor, damn it. Reach out
Definitely.
and say, look, I may have crossed the line here. I'm really sorry. I feel bad. And then try not to do it again.
Or if you have nice stuff to say, you could say that too. Like, hey, I enjoyed whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that because I have yet to reach out to somebody and say, you know what, that was really fun RP.
Well, you tell me all the
I
time,
have to try
so
to do
you're
that.
doing it. Don't worry.
What?
You tell me all the time, so you're doing it. Don't worry.
But that's because I know you. I'm not just gonna DM some random person. Go, "Hey, it's me. That was really
Hey,
strikes me a little creepy.
we didn't always know each other, but whatever. You're right. It is. Don't be
No, that's
creepy,
true.
but try and be nice. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. And don't listen to me because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Nope,
I'm
that's
not a
not.
doctor,
That's definitely not true.
RP or otherwise. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks for your words of wisdom, Doctor.
Wisdom.
uh,
I can say thanks for your words. I don't know how much wisdom was included in any
of
of them.
wisdom.
Look, I'm old. I'm grumpy. There you go. Take the advice of an old woman. Just be you.
You're great.
Thank you.
We got thanks people who are here. We got more interviews lined up for the rest of the week. Still trying to
You
like.
still didn't fix my name on your damn stream.
I didn't. My bad. Shoot. Let me.
I don't care.
Right before
Don't
we
bother.
leave, I'm gonna.
I mean-
no, I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. It's in the title. Don't worry.
It doesn't matter. Your stream
Oh,
has
whoops.
been buffering for hours. Not it's not on your end. It's mine. I have to call my provider and give him hell.
Well, it still says it's
But,
unstable, but I haven't messed with it because I don't want to mess it up. So it might be a little bit on my side, but you know. Anyway.
Well, you got that Texas internet. Hi.
Hi. We're done here.
I'm sitting here going, hi. Holy crap, I should know who this is. I'm so bad with names, and now I feel guilty. And they're gonna say this is, I'll be like, oh shit, that's right. I should have known that.
No, I don't think Ko's name is it's not the
See?
same.
There, that's what.
Yeah, but it's not the same as
Oh.
in game, so you couldn't know.
No, but I mean, I've seen the name before in streams, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Hell, I didn't even realize that apparently I had spoken to Neuro a couple times in the past for RP. I had no clue.
Yep. He's
You know?
great.
It's just, yeah, I didn't know he was with whoever it was the last chapter and then in Dark Side. I don't know these things.
Well,
I'm going senile. So there.
nope.
That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
Thanks everyone for coming.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me bore you for over 2 hours.
It was not boring, for the record. Thank you. We'll go see Roscoe. He's actually playing a game. Like I said,
Dead by
Conan.
Daylight, isn't it?
Oh, Conan. He's been in Conan for like
Conan.
weeks. He's a light fae.
Oh.
Has wings. They don't really work. You'll get there. Don't worry.
No, I won't. I freaking Faust has been bugging me for 1.5 years to play Conan, and I'm like,
Oh snap! Shout out to Faust.
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
You'll never see me in Conan.
Dang, I'll play.